Hey y'all, welcome back to Still Chosen, the Bo Believer podcast. I'm your host, Tara, and today's episode is called Rebuilding After the Breaking. Learning to trust myself again. You know, it's one thing to survive something that nearly breaks you, but it's another thing to rebuild after it. To wake up every day in a body that's healed, in a mind that's learning to quiet the flashbacks, and in a spirit that still wants to believe that purpose can come out of pain. There was a time not long ago when I didn't trust myself. I questioned every decision, every feeling, every moment. I thought I was safe. I kept replaying what happened, thinking, how did I not see it? Or maybe if I would have done this differently. But the truth is, you don't see betrayal coming from someone you trusted. You don't see evil coming from a familiar face. What I've learned is this: healing starts when you stop blaming yourself for someone else's brokenness. After the assault, I was just trying to survive. I was trying to make it to doctor's appointments, the ENT, the orthopedic, the neurologist, trying to understand what was happening inside my body while keeping up with life on the outside. Bills didn't stop, work didn't stop, life did not pause just because I was in pain. But somewhere in that chaos, God started showing me that healing isn't just about your body, what your body goes through. It's about what your faith learns to carry. I had to rebuild my trust in God, in myself, and in the fact that my voice still mattered. And that took time. It took sitting in silence when I wanted to explain myself. It took learning that not everyone is supposed to understand your pain. Some people will disappoint you, the system, the people you thought would protect you, even family. But God doesn't discard what He plans to redeem. There was a moment when I realized I had been living in survival mode for so long that I forgot what safety even felt like. My nervous system was always on edge, waiting for the next thing to go wrong. And God had to remind me, you can rest now. You survived. But now it's time to heal. Psalms 147:3 says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. That verse isn't just about emotional healing, y'all. It's about the process, the binding, the wrapping, the tending. Healing takes time, and God is patient with your process, even when you're not. If you've ever been through something that tried to silence you, listen to me, okay? Got your ears on. You don't owe anyone the version of you that hides what happened. You owe yourself the truth. Because every time you tell the truth, you reclaim the part of you that pain tried to steal. And so for me, rebuilding meant creating boundaries and meant forgiving myself for not seeing what I couldn't have known. It meant choosing not to let this one event define the rest of my life. And it meant realizing that trusting myself again doesn't mean I ignore fear. It means I listen to discernment without letting fear rule me. So you might be in that space too, the in between. You're not who you were, but you're not yet who you're becoming. And that's okay. Healing is holy work. God is rewriting your story in real time, not erasing what happened, but redeeming what's left. So if you're listening to this and you feel stuck in your healing, I want you to repeat this after me. I am still chosen, I am still covered, and I'm still becoming. So you're not behind, you're rebuilding. And one day you're going to look back and you're going to see even this, the heartbreak, the silence, the confusion. It was all part of your becoming. Thank you for listening to Still Chosen, the Bold Believer podcast. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to know they're not alone. You can also email me your stories at stillchosenpodcast@gmail.com. Until the next time, remember, your story isn't over. It's unfolding. Stay bold, stay believing, and never forget, you are still chosen.